get a lot of that. Guess my flooring has arrived.
aga enam-vähem samad.
Aga neid plaadid või? Kiviplaadid?
jah, aga neid peaks enam-vähem niimoodi, et need peaks kiiludega plaatima, vaata. On siia kohe sellised kiilud, vaata, siis ta paneb vuugi ja siis ta tõmbab sul pealt, vaata. Siia kohe kiilud müüa koos. Alla ja siis ta jääb vahele ja siis sa nagu lükkad sinna vahele, vaata, siis ta tõmbab nad täpselt ühte tasapinda ja pärast vaatan netist, miks need olema peavad need kiilud. Aga ma ei tea, kas nad viskasin nad kõik peale, ma ei tea, kas need nagu sellest tuleb 13 ruute, 13, kui ei tule, vaata, enam-vähem samad värved on muster natuke teistmoodi, siis saab võib-olla panna nagu
kombineerida.
Võtad sisse need kohale?
Ei soovi, aitäh.
Sa võtad sisse või paned välja?
No, võtad väljast kolla.
Ei ole.
Ja vaatad maha ja siis juba kommi käe.
Kus ma panen siis välja?
Mis nagu keps on ju? Või mingi soojustuspaat ka veel enne? Aga see plaat oli üsna jahe.
Soojustusplaadi vaata, aga plaat on niigi. Seal peab juba olema soojustus sees ka, soojustus ka.
Andi, sa vaata autosse.
Aga plaadi alla mingid elektrilised kaablid.
Arini, sina ei saa sina lähed.
Ma ei saa võtta sinna mingi 20. This was not a cheap tile, guys. Santa told me retail price for this is 50 euros per square meter. It's not cheap. Luckily though, I did not pay anything for it. They were leftovers of some huge project in Finland. So that's the deal with these. Oh, hi by the way. Another cabin episode. In the last episode we finished the chimney. Nice shiny effect going on there. Think it came out great. I did the upstairs a bit differently, and before I preferred the upstairs look, but now I changed my mind. I prefer this look. This looks way cooler. So guys, this episode is about the bottom floor or first floor or ground floor or whatever floor this is. Planning to sort of finish it. It will be in 3 sections, I suppose. So I'm gonna try to get this floor done as cheaply as possible. Kinda short on funds right now. Probably should not buy bulldozers that I don't need. So I'm gonna try to get this sorted out as cheaply as humanly possible. Gonna talk about my current vision about this floor, and hopefully I will not change my mind mid-course somewhere down the line. But anyway, so the base around the chimney, starting from this end, I think I will cut it. Basically I'm just gonna follow this line. I have a cap of insulation here. I'm gonna just follow this line. It goes up to this point and then turns towards Russia. So this entire line is the reinforced concrete pad, 2 times thicker than what my fingers are right now, maybe even 3. I was never good with numbers anyway, so let's go with 3. I'm gonna try to make a rock floor in this area. Something similar that I got going upstairs. I mean, something like this, but only in floor format. And I'm gonna try to put the rocks as close as possible. So that will be the centerpiece. Fine piece of meat there. And later somewhere here, right in front of the chimney, or maybe there, I'm not really sure, that huge fireplace will land. The kitchen area will get that tile that I kinda just got moments ago. Now there are 2 sorts here. So the light color one I think is a bit lighter, but they should have the same structure. And this also looks like a kind of rocky situation, so it would fit, perhaps. And the final, I guess this is the living room. I'm not really sure. Let's just call it the elevator. So the elevator part will get, well, I want a wooden floor here. So rock, tile, wood. Maybe I can get away with not buying wood as well. I do have one option, but it's a bit iffy option. Let's go check that option out. It's kind of iffy option. Maybe it's doable. I don't know. Okay, here's my option. These floorboards. They're like Soviet floorboards, I guess. They've been sitting here for, I would say, maybe like 6 years now, probably even more. They have this thick oil paint on them. Looks ugly as hell. I don't know why this was popular in Soviet Union. Pretty sure most people would just kind of vomit looking at this crap. Addition to that, it's full of nails. I could remove the nails and just try to send them through a planer. I think that would do a pretty fair job cleaning the top surface up. Some screws as well. Not good. But the joints themselves, they have been soaked in this paint as well. So I would need to clean every joint up as best as I could. And even then, it might not work. Still might have a bunch of gaps everywhere. I mean, all in all, they should be pretty dry. I mean, this area, during the summertime, it's like plus 40 here. It's very hot. So currently it is summertime. Best time to use them up right now, because they will get moist once the summer ends. And then they will not be dry enough. But it is a lot of work. And I have to keep in mind that the end result may not even be worth it. So I'm still gonna cooking the idea over these boards. Basically, if I'm not gonna use these, I'm just gonna buy some flooring lumber. But I could probably save like $600 on this pile, which is a lot of money. Just imagine what I could do with $600, guys. I could do I could probably change about 70% of all the oils in this Joseph. Man, I would rather choose that option than buy a bunch of flooring. Anywho, let's just gonna get to work. Let's focus on the centerpiece first. What the crap am I supposed to do now? No idea. I've been thinking for a while, but clean up first. Not bad. Level-ish. Stupid piece of crap! Man, that thing can't even got a 2-inch board. What a piece of crap! Man, I'm gonna need a lot more. Like a lot more. I still have all my fingers. 6 hours of this crap. 6 hours. Pretty sure I'm brain dead by now. Whoever invented this cart thing, I'm gonna see you in hell, buddy. Gonna take my anal probe with me. No mercy. I mean, wheel is just stupidly located. It should be that way. About 16 miles. All the mass has to be on that end, or the thing will always tip over. So stupid. And it's impossible to push. You always have to pull. It's the stupidest cart I've ever seen. Piece of crap. Personally, I think this is enough, but I'm not 100% sure. I want to stack them on the floor as neatly and tightly close to each other as I can. Minimal gaps in between them. I want to try that. See how that looks.
Kas sä kasutat siellä kõrval ottaa või mitä?
Ei kasuta.
Antti! Älä leikkiä itse on.
Ja. Liiguta niimoodi paremale ja vasakule vaata. kas Meribel proovib ka?
Ei saa yksintä. Mä lepittäisin kaameen.
Lepittää.
Katsotaan mitä kitettä.
Sain kättä.
Niin vastaan mitä saan sinun kättä.
Ei saa.
Kui mulla on näin uusi mullita ja siis mä olen pannut tää vesi päälle.
Las ta kuivab siin homseni. Väga hea, aitäh.
Peeper näed, sa oled kaamera. Ei ole. Oled ikka näed, sa oled kaamera.
Tahad veel või?
Joo.
No tule sina vajuta seda. Ja sina vajuta seda. Jaa, anna siia. Ei, mis ma sellega teen? No. Teeme nüüd vahetult. Bro, they won't leave me alone. Help me. So essentially that milkshake is a concrete primer. Usually on floor surfaces it's not necessary. Simple water will do, but it will improve the connection between two mixes, I suppose. But it should be a bit better than water. I just have a lot of that stuff remaining and nowhere to put it. I mean, this is pretty straightforward, guys. Let's just kind of fast track this bit. You know what? I'm relatively good with this. This is quite flat. I did not imagine I would get it this flat. There are minor bumps, very minimal, hardly can even notice it. But man, it's relatively flat. Leveling the rocks with that long ass level really helped. I would probably be grinding a lot more if I did not do that. Look, check this fine dust out, guys. Man, I did not know cancer felt so good. This is amazing. I could sleep in this stuff. They should make a bed out of this stuff. Cancer bed. On.
aga võib-olla selle tolmu.
Ta on ikkagi see mingi liivakirme peal.
Aga siis need liivad peaks nagu siit enne ära vist välja viskama. Kuivab ära, siis saab ära lakkida, siis on nagu praktiliselt valmis. Muustikuga vist ei jõua see nükkida.
This thing looks really cool with the wet effect. Yeah, but it will not stay like this. It will still go gray and white and all that worthless crap. Mr. SpongeBob SquarePants here will only get me so far. But no matter how much I wipe, there is still always some residue on the SquarePants. I'm thinking maybe pressure wash it. Maybe that will clean all the gunk off. Yeah, man, that's a lot better. Pressure wash everything. Why do you guys even do dishes at the sink? Pull out your pressure washer and pressure wash your dishes. So many colors. It would be great if it stayed like this. That would be perfect. Well, I can keep it like so. I just need to pressure wash it roughly every 2 hours. Then it would probably stay like this. Check some of these rocks out, guys. This is my favorite rock. I think it's granite. It has really nice pattern to it. For some reason, there were a lot of these, the white ones. I'm guessing that's sandstone. It was super easy to get it. Probably the hardest rock. I'm guessing it was the black one, or maybe this one. Those were the hardest to cut. But yeah, these white ones, they're just pussy, bro. So super easy to cut them. But anyway, I'm gonna let it sit for a couple of days, let it dry out nicely, and then let's coat it with something, if I can figure out what to choose. Essentially, I have 3 options. Either oil this, varnish that, or just epoxy it. You're probably yelling, epoxy, epoxy, epoxy. Well, yeah, probably the best solution. One thing's for sure though, I'm not gonna choose any oil. I already dried oil and that's complete hocus pocus. First, it looked amazing. About 2 hours later, it looked like yellow crap. And then it looked sort of okay. But after a couple of months, it looks rubbish. Not worth it. Varnish, on the other hand, still looks great. Varnish has this shine to it, and yeah, varnish is great. But I'm thinking let's try that surface epoxy, the type of epoxy you don't use for making river tables and stuff like that. I only need to add a very thin coat on this pad, and I think that surface epoxy should do the trick. So all the way from Riga, guys. Riga, Latvia. What's up, neighbors? So I'm just gonna use all of it. But before I mix them together, I'm gonna make a box where the fireplace will eventually land. So I don't want any epoxy under the fireplace anyway. So let's make that box thing where the fireplace will eventually land. Free plywood from a dump site. This stuff is absolute gold. You also have to tape it down because the epoxy, man, that thing will stick very well to wood. So I'm thinking I'm gonna place the fireplace somewhere here. At least this is the spot we came up with. Or maybe leave like a equal gap on each side. The one bummer side about this location is that it's gonna hide that gorgeous wall piece there. This pile of bricks, it will be huge. It'll probably reach like somewhere there. It will hide that wall piece. Don't really want to put it here. It would make this whole area, well, tinier. It's already pretty tiny. That seems like the most optimal spot right there. So let's just park it here. Man, that epoxy is like water, it will flow everywhere. You have to make really sure that everything is airtight. It may look like it has this high viscosity, so it flows very slowly. But trust me, bro, this is like water. It will find all the cracks. It's like a crack finder, it will go everywhere and it will leak through anything. So silicone should be pretty good option. I remember this one time when I was doing an epoxy table. Man, I thought everything was completely nicely sealed. Then I pretty much just, poured the epoxy. And guess what? I'm out of this stuff as well. Gonna be a fantastic mix of silicones. Some 10-year-old glue. Why not? But anyway, after I came back the next morning to check on the epoxy, that clown of a liquid had leaked through some 10 layers of plastic tape. And guess where it leaked into? What the crap? Why are they all empty? Smells like dar. Roof sealant. Ew. You had me at sealant. But anyway, by the time I realized it, that the epoxy had cured already into the carpet. So I had like a glass carpet. Mother was not happy with that one. That was a really sucky day. So yeah, kinda sucky that. This should hold though. Got like 3 different silicons, some glue, and some roof sealant. Should hold. Not really sure what I'm gonna do about the sides just yet. Thinking once I finish the remaining floor, I'm just gonna grind them flat. I think I overdid it a bit. Shouldn't have added all that silicone. Check it out, even through silicone, the thing will find its way. And that's insane. It's leaking all over the place. Man, this episode is so conflicting. So many ideas and so many problems. Okay, so here's the situation. It's actually been several weeks now since I poured a layer of epoxy on this bit. 2 things with this setup. Number 1, I need a second layer, definitely. Because as the epoxy was curing, it kinda oozed itself into every little nook and cranny it could find. So you can see these small like voids or whirlpools, the type of pool thing you see in the water. You know, the surface is just absolutely covered with it. So that means either in the rock or between the rocks there were these small cavities, and slowly the epoxy kind of oozed into them, leaving behind a bunch of these tiny holes. So definitely need to cover it again, maybe even 3 times. Some stupid freaking holes everywhere. Okay, but that's not really a problem. I already ordered up some epoxy. Should get it in a few days. The problem is that I keep changing my stupid ideas. Oh, and freaking roof mastics. Let's not forget about that bit. Stupidest scrap I've ever bought. That thing there. I covered the corners with that thing. That was the stupidest scrap I've ever bought. Almost. It actually took me several hours to get rid of that black. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this bit. That was horrible. Several hours of grinding it down with a cutoff disc. Man, all the fumes, tarmac smoke, epoxy smoke. By the end of the day, it felt like I just snorted 6 kilos of coke or something. That was horrible. So yeah, guys, if you ever run out of silicone and you're like me who thinks that, oh, I have this black stuff, let's use this instead. Don't do that. Stupidest crap I've ever done. Period. This thing does not even like cure. It will remain squishy constantly, and it paints everything black. It's horrible. But let's get back to business. Let's get back to the other problem, the changing plans part. So like I said in the start of this video, I wanted to put some wood on this side. So I figured I'm gonna just silicone this part and try to mend these two different floors together somehow later. Then my Santa Claus called me up and told me that, you bro, I have some laminate for you. Maybe you can use that on your cabin or something. I was like, sure bro. And we went with that idea. But just yesterday, he called me up again. Yo man, I can bring you like 40 liters of floor epoxy. Do you want it or not? So the ideas, bro. The ideas. They just keep coming and going. No idea what's going on right now. This floor is becoming a complete nightmare. It's taking too long time. So, think I'm gonna choose the epoxy option. I had this click. Maybe I can make this side of the floor that wooden chip or wooden pancake floor. You know, I googled it. It looks pretty cool. You lay down a bunch of blocks and then cover the entire thing in epoxy. Then I could nicely mend these two together. You know, there will be no gaps or overlaps. The one floor will end, another one will begin, and it will be all epoxy. But this has stone in it, and this would have wood in it. And I thought I'm gonna make it up to this point so I could mend most of that area, and the only issue would be this edge, because in the kitchen I'm still planning to put that tile. So let's go with that right now. Hopefully I will not change my mind anymore. Currently kind of hoping that Santa can get a hold on that epoxy. And yeah, so let's focus on that side instead for now. Now, one thing that I still think I should do are the sides. And the concrete edges here are a bit too dull. I thought it's not gonna be an issue, but apparently it's gonna be a major issue. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make them a bit more down. That way I can extend the floor out to the freaking wall. Right now it's just gonna stop like half a kilometer before the wall, which is not ideal. Already finished that, so that's a problem as well. Not really sure what I'm gonna do about that bit there. So many issues, man. I hate this. I hate this episode. This episode sucks. But anyway, let's shorten that concrete edge down and then start making wooden pancakes. Okay guys, so my game plan. I'm gonna go with the angle grinder like this. Gonna try to keep it a straight line as much as possible. Then I'm gonna use this thing to chip away as much as possible of that concrete, and then try to extend yeah, try to extend this pad about this much. Whoops, should have done this before. So let's try. Oh boy, you know the amount of dust I have created in this cabin. I think we should officially name this cabin Cancer Cabin. That's a fantastic name for it. Yep. Yeah, maybe I should go all the way, as close to the wall as I can. It's one of those moments again. I can either go this way or the other way. Now if I go straight, it will be great. But then again, if I go closer, it will be also great. I hate those moments. Whatever, bro. Let's go as close as we can. Let's go, boys. More Makita power. Oh, this feels like home. I'm so accustomed to this right now. It's like, yeah, I feel fine. This thing is really great. I don't even smell the dust. Pure, fresh air right here. So, yeah. It's gonna plow on here. Oh boy. Well, that thing still looks great though. You can even see the dust entering all the epoxy voids. Desperately need a second coat. As much as I love being in this dust storm, be right back. Another one of those tools from my Centigrass. So the guy told me that the company wrote it off because it was broken. But I don't know, that doesn't look broken. You know. Yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna take a while. It's actually going pretty well. Thank the holy wheelbarrow that my concrete is pure crap. going smoothly right now. This whole lot has taken about 8 minutes only. Not bad, bro. Not bad. So I think I got a joke for you. Two Makitas went into a cabin. I'm sorry guys, that's all I got. What is all that racket, man?
Liiva ei tohi sinna panna, Meripel. Meripel, võta ära.
Väljas alla.
Marilyn, tule. Meripel ei tohi.
Noh, mine.
Juba tulen.
Siis võite üle ära juba lennata.
Mine.
Ma ei saa.
Pane jalad alla.
Meripel, ära sa kukud, Meripel.
Oh, mine nüüd. Mine.
Tule. Anna käsi.
Ära vei.
No tule. Vaata, sa tahad.
Aitamine.
Oi, Meripel. Võta seda kaasa. Jätame käru siia, me ei saa seda kaasa võtta. Looma võid kaasa võtta. Tule, lähme käime vetsus ära, Mirtel tahab vetsu minna. Ära seda lase sinna, Mari. Nii, mina lase ka liugu. Istu.
Tule.
No istu nüüd. Meripel, püüa Marilyn kinni. Meripel, võtan, pane oma papud ka jalga, jah? Näe, ma tõstan siia.
No kus su plätu kadus?
Mirtel, su plätu kodus ära. Niimoodi sa võid Meripel ka üle pea lennata, ära nii tee.
Vänta. Mis sa tahad? Aja.
Mirtel, tahad minna siis või?
Ei.
Nüüd sina hoia.
Wait a minute. Where am I going to put this crap? Nobody needs to know. Great success, guys. I actually thought this is gonna be a nightmare, but it was just well, About 4 hours of nightmare. Went surprisingly well. Whole this area is nicely flat. This bit though, if I do want to extend it out to this point, I need to take it lower. Yeah, this actually went pretty well. I was expecting it to be a bit more problematic. Maybe like mess up this bad. But it, yeah, guess I got it saved. Got lucky there. Okay, well, let's focus on this bad now. The floor, I think it's called wooden cookie floor. Great, now I'm hungry. I'm not really sure what type of cookies to use though. Got some pieces out of a lumber, but it has to be dry, and that's rule number 1. But what about firewood? Firewood, guys. But would it look cool in a floor? My brain is kind of saying no. It would be great if all of them were like this, like log ends. Wait a minute. Hold the door. Piss off! These things, guys. These guys. So these pieces, I stockpiled them here because I didn't want to burn them or make them into firewood. If I remember correctly, these pieces are the only remaining pieces that were kind of left over from this building. And I'm pretty sure I was like, don't really want to burn them, might need them one day. So I'm just gonna bark them there. There's some crap like that. I'm not really sure if I have enough though. This kind of looks a small pile. But then again, if I'm gonna make a cookies, then I might just have enough. Gonna go with this option. I don't really have other option. They're kind of dry, you know. They're from this cabin. I don't have a third reason. Let's got some cookies, guys. How am I gonna do that though? Pretty sure I'm just gonna mess that up. It would be great if I could cut them exactly, what, like 3 centimeters, something like that. I'm not gonna achieve that with the chainsaw. I just remembered I have that tool, you know, the finger remover. Or was it a limb remover? That's right. Who the heck cares, man? Today it's the cookie maker. This should be pretty good. You need to do some sort of a limiter here. It would be ideal if the thickness would be 3 centimeters. Just in here maybe. What is that? Exactly 3, guys. What a badass. Bro, this would be perfect, I think. Gonna flat with that. Obviously it's gonna rise up a bit. I'm gonna need to figure out what I'm gonna put under the block. Deal with that issue later. Pretty cool looking rock. Half of it dark, some of it light. But yeah, I think this thickness should work nicely. At least it's a lot easier to sand wood than freaking rock. That's really hard. Although end grain, it's always harder to sand end grain. Still, should be easier than rock. Basically, I'm just gonna make a bunch of cookies. Maybe about half of them, gonna cut them up. And then we'll see how much I need more. Boy, this is a great tool to make pancakes out of. Kind of sidetracked a little bit, so I have to keep an eye on how straight the log is. But I guess it's not really a big deal. as long as they're nicely equally flat and well all around. I'm gonna need a lot more. This is not even close. Looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4 long ones and a bit shorter one. Don't think it's enough, but let's cut them all. That's all I got. Yeah, clearly not enough. Genius. I would say like 50% right now. So I need at least one more vial. Might be a problem that no more logs. There is this one thing that I could do. Would solve this problem definitely, but install another window here. Then I could get those cookies. So I don't really want to do that. That is the only complete wall. Only nice looking wall in this entire cabin, man. Everything else is just crap. This wall has a defect. Okay, this is fine as well. That looks weird. That looks ugly. So that is the only nicest looking wall in the entire cabin, man. I don't want to ruin it with a stupid window. I know they're not round and they don't originate from the cabin, rather from that building actually, but they are roughly the same age, so maybe it's fine. I have two options: either make this section only round logs and the remaining those square things, or I could try to mix them up. I think the mix-up should look better. Yeah, don't really want 4 separate floors. Mixy mix. Okay, so here's the game plan. Gonna set these things in order and glue them to the concrete floor. Now, in order to stick them to the floor, there are several options. Best option would be epoxy, hands down, but also very expensive. Another option would be to use some type of adhesive, some type of chemical glue. Like put like 4 dots on each block and voila. That actually might be feasible. Third option would be to use some type of mortar. Now I did a bit of research, kinda got mixed answers there. Some people said you should not use mortar because it will crack up. The wood will suck the moisture out of the mortar and it will not like dry evenly or fully. But then again, I go to YouTube, watch a bunch of wood cookie floor builds, and people use mortar all the time, or grout or something like that, to glue them blocks to the floor. So currently I'm kind of hovering between those two options, either some glue or mortar. But another thing would be to fill the gaps. I'm not even sure, to be honest. I think I'm gonna go with some lime-based grout. Now I want the gaps to be white, pure white. So lime would do the trick. Another option would be glue mixed with sawdust. But standard wood glue, well, first of all, it's like $10 per liter. I'm guessing about $2,000 in glue to cover all them cracks. This is way too expensive. Even epoxy is cheaper. And then again, glue, it turns yellowy when it dries fully. So I'm not gonna choose the glue option. I think I'm gonna go with some lime-based grout. But I'm not really sure 100% if that's gonna work. Up here it seems like, okay, might work, but I'm not sure. So probably I'm just gonna set like a small corner somewhere. Test it out on the corner. If it looks great, gonna do the rest of the floor. You know what, I think I'm gonna go with the glue option rather. Glue these suckers to the floor and then later fill the gaps with that lime stuff. I think it's a bit better and less messier. But I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. I probably need to add some mixture here to make it sure it's, well, flat-ish. And I think this will work just fine. It's kind of skeptical, but should work better than mortar. I guess there's only one way to find out. So I'm gonna leave you guys on a time lapse. You don't need to go through this as I will go through this. Let's try to make it like 2 or 3 minutes. Tops. Come on! This is always the best part. Oh boy, this video is getting kind of weird now. Well, at least that still looks great. Sort of. Okay guys, so let me explain the situation a bit. During the course of the last time lapse, which by the way took forever, I've been through many different let's just call them iterations, because that's what they are. So I pretty much abandoned that white idea. Not because the mix did not fully cure. That would have cured if I put a fan on it or something. But rather I thought that if all the caps are white, that's gonna really annoy the eye. Especially if I put some warm white LEDs in this room. It's gonna be really annoying. At least that's what I thought. So I dumped that idea. Then I asked my Santa how much epoxy you can bring me. At first he told me maybe like 40 liters. But actually he checked and said around 100. And 100 liters of epoxy, that's almost 3 grand in money stuff. So I immediately got a new idea here. What if I filled these gaps with some decorative rock and then epoxy the entire surface flat? I mean, 100 liters of epoxy should be enough for this area. I should get about this much thickness of epoxy glue, which is even a bit much to be honest, but enough to flatten this whole plane. So I figured I'm gonna fill the gaps like halfway and then get some decorative rock to fill it the remainder way or something, and finally pour the epoxy. So he can bring me the epoxy, but there's a catch. It's not clear coat. It's some type of gray, greenish, not clear. So if I put that here, I would not see any of these blocks or the rock. It would just be plain greenish, grayish, crap-ish. So that idea also flew out the window because I'm not buying 3 grand worth of epoxy. But I was already like half finished when I got the news. So I had to think up another idea. You know, this surface, I mean, it may look like flat, but there are slight bumps here and there. Basically, it's not super flat. I mean, if I put my level somewhere, I don't know, here, that's kind of flat, but okay, this is pretty flat, to be honest. Yeah, and at the end it's quite fat. I mean, flat. But here we got like a centimeter, maybe more. So it's not perfect. Now, sanding this down with an angle grinder will pretty much kill me, so I'm not going to do that. Plan C would be that I put more of that mixy stuff and then rent a big concrete grinder or something and try to flatten this whole plane with that. I'm not really sure if that's gonna work, but I just have no other idea how to really save this floor because it's kinda going sideways. Kinda been going sideways for a while now. This is, by the way, the first time I'm ever attempting to do something like that. To do this. I mean, that came out relatively nice and flat. I'm good with that. But this would have too many bumps and it would annoy me. You know, I thought sanding wood is not gonna be an issue, but end grain, guys, that thing is a nightmare to sand. I was using these flap discs. I think they're fiber discs. The grit is 24, so it's very rough. But I literally maybe got like 5 blocks done before this thing was useless. And rather than sanding, it just started burning the wood. I also tried random orbit sander, which did nothing, belt sander, which also did nothing, hand planer. Well, that sort of helped, but I guess I kind of rammed into concrete or something and it did not work anymore. At that point I was pretty much out of options. Didn't know what to use to sand this freaking floor. But out of blue I was like, diamond cutting disc, I don't know, let's try that. No more options left anyway. And this thing, guys. This thing did the entire freaking floor. And it did not even wear away or anything. It pretty much looks the same as I started from the beginning. Plus this thing did not really burn the wood. It just grinded and grinded. Yes, slowly, but this thing saved the day. There is this one mystery that I can't really explain. So that disc did not burn the wood, but I also tried other diamond discs and they all burned the wood. They're literally the same model. I don't get it. Why did this not burn the wood, but this one did? You know, I really have no answer there. Maybe because the corner here is sharp, but this corner is kind of rounded. So maybe that, but other than, don't really have a clear reason. Complete mystery, man. But anyway, let's get that mix going. You know, there is this one thing that I really want to add to the mix, but I'm kind of afraid it might ruin it. So I did buy this no, it's not mud. It's red decorative stone. It's really tiny reddish stones. So that way I will have these small stones between the wood blocks. I thought it might look better than plain mix. What is that crap even called? I think it's thin coat. Concrete based thin coat. It's very fine mix and it seems pretty strong as well, so I'm gonna go with that. But I do have a concern here. You know, once I rent that giant grinder, what if these rocks don't stay in their place and they just kind of fly out of the mix? Then I would have like a bunch of holes everywhere. But then again, I could just apply a new coat of mix then. You know that floor thing? It's creating that, what was it called? Anxiety.
Basically, it's just creating a lot of headache for me right now. Kind of pissed off. I'm not sure how long this video will be, but let's just kind of hammer on. Gonna try to make it as short as possible. So I'm gonna do 3 cups maybe of red stuff. And 1 cup of black rock. I'm gonna make the mix a bit more watery. At least I'm sure all the gaps are nicely sealed. You know what, guys? This bit is going relatively smoothly. Whoa. Deja vu. Felt like I've done this before. Like I've seen it in a dream or something. Maybe I'm just going crazy. I don't know. My money is on crazy. This bit actually went pretty smoothly. Yeah, definitely better than that grinding. But anyway, guys, see you, well, in a couple of seconds.
I wanna see how it looks before I rent the big one. I'm curious. Ta-da! This is how the thing came out. Rather interesting, wouldn't you agree? Neato. Looks pretty interesting. I'm guessing my little experiment kind of banned out. Check out the walls, guys. They're completely covered in dust. So I didn't really bother to rent the big grinder for this. Believe it or not, I only needed two diamond grinding discs for this entire surface. So I got the grinding done with only like $20 worth of grinding discs. Then again, the grinding process. That was like 6 or 7 hours non-stop. That was not fun at all. Now, one problem that I immediately noticed while I was grinding my life away was that when I made the mix, I did not think about it sagging down with time. So I leveled off the mix from the top, but with time it sagged down a bit here and there. Result was that there was not enough mix in some spots. Nothing serious, but a good note there to put aside. Always add a bit more mix because as it gears, it also loses volume and sags down. Another thing, the red rocks that I added, there were too few, and in some spots there are really no rocks visible at all. I pretty much blame the watery mix for that, but Just imagine how hard and time consuming it would have been to add a more solid mix between these wood blocks. It would have been a nightmare. Beyond that even. Boy. Like I said, it took me about 6 or 7 hours of non-stop grinding and only 2 discs to complete this entire floor. Oh, and let's not forget about the $2 million in electricity that I used up here. But who even cares about that? Irrelevant. I may believe that I also grinded some brain cells away while braying on that floor for so long. And the hardest part was just trying to keep awake. I constantly just wanted to fall asleep. That was so annoying. Guess I was just tired after a night shift at work or something. Overall, I got the thing pretty flat, but it's not perfect. I think renting the big grinder will not help much, and it will most likely stay the same, so I decided that I'm not gonna go down that route. Another decision that I had to make was either mend the 2 concrete pads together or leave a gap between the 2. Guess we know what choice I made there. Obviously, I went with option number 1 as I wanted the floor to be a single unit. Hopefully, I don't have to regret this in the future. I don't think the bats will move that much, but it will remain a possibility still. For those who don't know, the rock pad is about 2 or 3 times thicker than the rest of the floor. And it's also separated by an insulation from all sides. So it's like a separate pad. The best part was the cleanup. I did it in my normal fashion. Gain mode. Let's be honest, guys. This is always the best part. It's still warm, although I finished grinding like 5 hours ago. Yeah, the bottom part is even hot. Basically, I had to make sure that everything was squeaky clean. No dust, no nothing. I had to clean it all up, including the bed that I already previously epoxied. I know, I should have put some paper or cardboard on that pad before doing the rest of the floor. I did spill some mix on the epoxy, but luckily I managed to get it off without just a couple of scratches here and there. But overall epoxy is pretty strong, so got lucky there, I guess. So finally came the epoxy resin. I bought a total about 27 liters of epoxy. It was not cheap, that's for sure, but had to cough up about $600. I would have bought more, but well, that's really all I could afford at the time. Maybe in the future I can afford a bit more and add more layers on the floor, but for now the thing will be like so. I also went over the previous rock pad with the extra layer as well, and that really helped to seal all the little holes or unevenness that I had on the pad after the first pour. Now I got them all nicely covered, the blocks, but there's only like maybe 2 millimeters. I think it's mostly 1 of epoxy on here. It's very thin. I'm assuming perfect thickness would be about maybe like 5 millimeters. Yeah, definitely 1 something is too few. But you can't afford more, so yeah. Adding more layers though, it would make it a bit more flat. Right now I still have some bumps here and there, but it's relatively flat. Relatively flat. The rock pad is a lot flatter than the wood pad, but it doesn't feel like it fits this room very well. Maybe if I clean up all the walls from several tons of dust, then maybe it will look better. But that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you think. It's also possible that I just don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe the mix was imported from Cuba or something. Maybe it had a bunch of cocaine in it and I'm just high. But anyway, guys, this video is kind of getting out of hand right now. I've been doing this entire floor surface ever since July. Right now it's September already, way too long, but we still have that bad left to do. And this thing is pretty straightforward. Gonna try to complete it as fast as possible while I walk you guys through it. So first things first, we need some, we need to get rid of this freaking dust. But before that, I need to get this edge off. This might be an issue in the future. That's cool though, and don't care about that as well. Okay, first things first. This dust, man, it just needs to get bent. Don't need it. Now that the dust has been successfully bent over, we can add that primer stuff. Now we need to add some wires. In order to install all that cobweb, there's really two options. Either you can go with the proper setup, or just hot glue all that crap together. Man, this is crap. Don't use this. Takes way too long time for the glue to harden. Beep, beep, boop, beep, 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 beep. There seems to be a glitch. I may have made a mathematical error. On the box thing it says it's 20 meters, but somehow it's 40 meters. Well, to be honest, no surprise there. Whenever numbers are involved, then I have no idea what's going on. I will try to fix it though. Well, it's a bit densely more backed, so that's a plus, I guess. But I have no idea how I'm gonna end up back there. Guess we'll see in about soon. You know, I feel warmer already. That's just a lie, guys. I don't really. But apparently I had 3 different cables. So the first one is, I think it was like 350 watts, maybe 400. Second one in the middle is, I think that one was 750 watts. And the red one, 800 watts. So maybe I can hook them up under a single thermostat. Not sure if that's doable, but This mix, it dries relatively fast. Only 20 minutes of setup time. I'm already way past that, but I guess it still works. Curing time is about 4 hours until it's ready to, I don't know, host a dance party or something. But the full cure time is, well, up to 3 weeks. Depends on the drying situation. So I'm gonna wait for this to nicely cure up and then add a bit more. This is clearly not enough. Mõõdulint ka ja uusi kõnnid on. Looks like we got about 10 millimeters. So 15 bags for 10 millimeters. That means I need at least, I need 6 millimeters more. So I don't know, like 10 bags, maybe 12. You know what's interesting, guys? On the box it says 20 minutes of setup time. And from 2 hours to 4 for curing. Well, it's been 2 hours now. Does it look cured? I mean, only like a small piece from this edge looks sort of cured, but a little bit from there as well. But other than that, it's still pretty much the same. No, I did use the correct water ratio. So for one bag I used 4.7, I think, liters. My guess is that the 20 minutes labeled on the box is just BS. So because I already got the second batch of mix, I think let's just finish the floor. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. First time doing a self-leveling mix. I'm pretty sure I did a bunch of things wrong, but maybe it's fine. Guys, this self-leveling mix, I've never used it before. I'm kind of amazed how well it kind of self-levels. See that little crack there? It's just kind of entered that void slowly. And now I have a bow here. But that's not going to be an issue because if you can't see the problem, then it's not a problem. That's just how life is. This thing was fighting me. But it's less than 8 millimeters, so it's totally fine. Other than those two issues, pretty well. Next up would be the dial. And I already did some prep work for it. So basically I needed to find a corner where I could start laying tile. Now, if I make a long story short, then there is no such corner here. Everything is crap. No idea how that happened. So I'm gonna start laying tile from this center area. Got a line marked on the floor. Also, just in case, I install a laser to follow that pattern if I can't see the line for some reason. And then I will have roughly 3 tiles to finish this gap. So if I'm gonna have a gap on this edge, totally fine. I'm gonna mend it somehow later. As long as I have a straight line coming from the door. So the dial line, it has to be straight. If it's kind of crooked, then it's bad. Now, whatever happens on this side or that side, I simply do not care because, well, it will be all hidden anyway. Kitchen countertops, this entire corner, so all that grab will be hidden. That's why I'm not gonna bother hiding those electrical wires, and that's why I did not bother to cut that concrete edge off. Now, in order to, well, let's say properly install these dials, I just got to lay those plastic clips between every connection. So that will ensure that the gap is same on each dial, and I think that's about it. Oh yeah, I need to use these plastic wedges as well. So these wedges go there. It will ensure that the 2 dials, they're kind of flat with each other. And I have to put that wedge on every plastic clip. But I think that's about it, guys. At least I can't remember anything else. So let's just tile this floor, I guess. Well, one thing's for sure. Cleaning this floor will never get old. It will always be super satisfying. Oh yeah, I could not agree more. You guys have no idea how sick I am of this episode. What a freaking mess, man. How long, guys? How long do you reckon this episode took me? Well, this bit actually did not take me that long. I'm guessing about 3 days maybe. That bit there, that was sort of a nightmare, yeah. So actually I started this bad way back in July. And currently we're sitting on middle of the September. So my fingers are telling me that's 2 months. Did a bunch of other things in the meantime, but yeah. Kind of bummer that it took me so long. So I need to go over this again. Wait a bit, maybe. Let it dry up. But anyway, you know, overall I'm relatively happy how it came out, but I could have done better. So what I should have done here, instead of putting these blocks on pure concrete, I should have used that self-leveling mix to get a nice flat surface. And I should have tried my hardest to get the freaking wood blocks as close as possible to the same thickness. Those two things would have just sliced so much unnecessary grinding off the work table, and I should have saved a lot of time. Kind of messed up with those two things, and yeah, like 10 hours of praying on this floor. My prayers were not answered, by the way. But at least I'm smarter, so I'll do it better next time. You're right. Never gonna do a floor like this again. Never ever. Maybe. But guys, because this video is like 2 hours long now or something, we really need to wrap it up. Sorry about the mega length, but well, basically I did not want to cut this episode up into multiple episodes. I wanted the bottom floor to be a single episode. It kind of got long. I will try my best to make it as short as possible. But in the next episode I will be most likely focusing on the second loft area. Wanna get that floor installed there as well. Not gonna do anything like this. Just gonna pick the freaking cheapest option I can afford and do that. Bye! Yeah, this actually came out pretty good. I'm kinda impressed with myself. Installing tiles with these clips, super easy, man.